Hi there, I'm Pauline Messenger and the author of Turn Your Life Around, second edition. This is part 2 of Turning Your Life Around Now. And this morning I posted a video asking you to have a think about your bad habits and what would you like to change in your life now to go forward with a much more positive attitude and looking forward to 2025. Well, for me, I actually did this 4 months ago in April. And the reason I did it was I had a really red flag. I went for a hospital appointment and they said I should have been there yesterday, which was just not me. And I was shocked, absolutely shocked and devastated because it was for a precancerous treatment. So it was very important. And on my way home, I suddenly realised, well, if I should have gone to that appointment the day before, then I was missing the appointment at the hospital for biopsies at that time, in that day when I'm driving. So I got home, rang and apologised. And the next morning I rang my GP and I said I needed an urgent appointment. And when I got to see him, he said, "So what is so urgent?" I said, "This is not me. There is something going on and I need help with it." And he said, "Would I be willing to talk to somebody?" And I said, yeah, I was willing. And so I actually talked to Talking Therapies. Now, as I've mentioned this morning, I had a really bad, it was severe chest virus at Christmas. I honestly thought I wasn't going to make through. It was so bad and I could not breathe. And it had really taken its toll on me. I realised once I started to talk to somebody, I went to these sessions and it was a group session about severe illness and fatigue. And sometimes you need to step out of the situation to realise where you actually are. And you plod along and you struggle and you do not realise how bad things have got. I was finding I was so tired. I struggled to do anything, to get my shopping, to do the washing, anything strenuous. I was stuck. I really was finding it hard. I'd cut myself out doing anything social because I was so tired. And the only thing I was doing was writing. And that was actually when I wrote my book, Turn Your Life Around. Now, when I went to these lessons or these sessions, I suddenly realised, yes, I had this problem, but I've had a heart problem for 20 years. And after the third session, something just clicked in my brain. And I thought, you know what, girl, if you can do it for 20 years, for goodness sake, you can do it for another 20. You're not giving up yet. And so I started to get my life back together. My first thing was I used to give myself an excuse on a Thursday. It was my day off. Some days it would be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock before I got out of bed. I was awake from 8 o'clock, but I would do the mind games on my phone. I would answer texts. I would I'd do some writing. I would have a bit read, meditate. I would do everything in my bed, but I wasn't getting up. And so that was my first thing. And of course, because I wasn't getting up till late, I wasn't going to bed till late. It would be 1:45. I've seen it's been 2:30 before in the morning. because I wasn't tired. So the first thing I did was to regulate my sleep. I made a rule. I had to be in bed before 12. And I can say now, 4 months on, I am awake at 6 and I'm getting up at 7. And I go to bed between 10 and 11 at night. I am so much more productive, and my health is certainly improving. My next thing was in my diary was hospital appointments. I have had, I had precancerous tests, I had biopsies in my mouth, I had an angiogram, I had MRI scan. The biopsies, they made an error, so I had to have more biopsies. And this has gone on and on until eventually I have seen the specialists. When I saw my heart specialist, I actually said, I let him say what he had to say. And then I said, I believe what is making me ill are 2 of my medication. I said, I would like these to stop. I said, I didn't mind them taking blood tests. They can follow my journey along, but I wanted these 2 things to stop. And I had 3 other medications for my heart. And he said, because I've had a heart bypass, I definitely needed those medications. He didn't tell me why, but he said those 3 medications I needed to have. So I agreed, that's fine, I would have that. He kept saying that there was a new injection, and I said, no, I didn't want that. I wanted to try it my way. I'd done it his way. I had all the tests, everything. So over a month ago, I stopped the medication. Then I could only do maximum 1,000 steps a day. I can now do 5,000 steps. I am so more in focused. I can get on. My mind is clear. I'm not tired during the day. Before, I was sitting. Every time I sat down, I was sleeping. And what I would say to you is, if you can recognize with this, don't just stop your medication. Have tests done to check everything. And then at the end of it, if you're no further forward, ask them. Ask for your medication to be revised. If you've been on medication for a long time and you haven't had it reviewed, go and see your GP and ask your doctor to revise it. Is there a reason that you need to still be on? Because what I have found is when you have a flare-up or something happens, they will increase your medication, but they never decrease it. They never say, well, you've had that for so long, it's done its job, now you can come off it. They just build stack everything, one on top of the other. And we don't know what one tablet is doing with the other. Are they reacting against each other? What is happening? And it was only by chance for myself that one day when I was doing some work and I'd forgotten to take my medication, and I suddenly realised I had energy. I was doing everything and not having a problem with it. And that was when it made me realise, well, I needed to investigate this. Something I've also investigated, I've done a lot of work, and something which you can, is if you've got autoimmune diseases, heart, you've had stroke, anything like that, you go back and you look at when either you were hospitalised or you were first diagnosed, what was going on at that time in your life. Were you anxious? Were you fearful? Were stress? Was that through the roof? And it's that you need to deal with. And to deal with stress, get yourself out in nature. get into a park, go where there's trees, the energy, go down to the seafront. If you have chronic chest problems, the endorphins down at the seaside are the best thing you can breathe in. Even if you can just go, get out of your car and sit outside and have a coffee, do it. Because breathe in that sea air. It is better than any medication for you. I know because I've had chest problems from being a child. My doctor always said to my dad, take her down to the sea. That's the best place she can be. And so that's what I'm saying to you. That get out in nature, get out fresh air, socialise, because that helps you mentally and it lifts your mood. It stops you getting down and depressed. And you come back and you feel better. You can cope with things. You can cope with whatever the illness is giving you to deal with. The next thing I would say is to look at your diet. If you're suffering from arthritis, fibromyalgia, look at the sugar content. Look at what you're eating, because sugar causes a lot of pain. I was riddled with pain in my late 40s. I have very little now. It's only if I overdo with exercise that I might be stiff, but nothing. I couldn't get out of bed when I was 49. I am now 69 and I can get up pain-free, no problem, because I have eliminated sugar from my diet. All right, the odd occasion, if it's a celebration, I might have a little something, but I do not focus on having that in my diet. Just watch your diet, investigate. One diet is not for everybody. Look at your blood type, investigate, go online. What is the diet for your blood type? Because it's all different. And there were certain things I could never eat, never face. My friends used to say, go on, try it. I says, I couldn't. There's no way. My body just says no. And when I've looked into it further, the reason is because my blood type tells me I shouldn't eat those foods. And my body was telling me, you should listen to your body. Your body can advise you. Your body can heal itself. Our cells are renewed. Everything is renewed. So you can heal your body by eating right, exercising, going to bed early, meditating. Meditating is so good for stress. Journaling, get it out, get it on paper. Once you get it out of your mind, it's no longer there. Let it go. You don't need it. Let the past be in the past. It's dead, it's gone. There's no point worrying about it, fretting about it. Yes, you want your loved ones to be there. Don't we all? I've lost my son. I would want him here now if I could, but I can't. So I know he's with me. I can feel him, around me. Acknowledge they're there. Acknowledge their memories. They're living on in your heart. But you do not need to live in that grief every day, because the grief is stopping you living your life. And you need to live your life for them. For the years that they haven't got, you live yours. Do things what you wouldn't normally have done, because you're doing it for them. You're making the most out of life. Don't waste it. Life is very, very precious. And just enjoy every moment. Gratitude. When we focus on gratitude, morning and night, you go to bed giving thanks for everything that day. And when you do, you wake up grateful on a morning and you give thanks for a peaceful night's sleep. The bed you've slept on, you've been warm, you're waking up to a brand new day. you're going to have your breakfast. You're going to get excited at what that day could possibly bring you. And so you change the negative to a positive. And all these things teach you one step at a time to improve your life. So that is all for now. We're going on this journey. I'll keep checking in with you and giving you little tips. But I just thought I'd give you my story. And yes, now I'm on four months later, and I am now focusing on upping my steps. My goal is I'm spending my Christmas with my son in Dubai, and I want to be fit. I am determined I will be well by Christmas. And that is you have a focus. Decide, give yourself a goal and work towards it. Every day, do something to get you to the next step. So, wishing you lots of love. Best wishes. Bye for now.